Now let's look at your second assignment, Assignment 2, Adult Studies Seminar 1, Session 1 Writing Assessment. That is due on Sunday of the first week of your class. You'll log on to Blackboard again by typing blackboard.ccu.edu in the address bar. Sign in with your username, which is your student ID, and your password is the same as for your CCU login account. By the way, if you have the option to save your login information on your computer, you will not have to do the sign-in each time. It will remember your username and password. Again, Blackboard pops up. Look under My Courses, find your current course, and click on the class name. For your first week assignment, click on Session 1. There's a helpful video at the top of the page. We're going to scroll down till we get to the middle of the page, and you'll remember that above the coffee cup, you can click on Session 1, where you can find out the details of the content of your next assignment. So go ahead and click on Session 1, Content, above the coffee cup. Scroll down the page. Your second assignment is the Session 1 Writing Assessment. You can click on it to find out what the assignment is all about. The Session 1 Writing Assignment page will open. You can read the information and then scroll down the page and keep reading. You'll see that it's going to talk about academic versus reflective writing. Now, academic writing are facts. For example, a weather forecast. It might say, for example, that it's going to be -12 outside. There's going to be 5 inches of snow. The wind is going to blow at 25 miles per hour with gusts to 45 miles per hour. So that would be the facts, academic writing, just the facts. Reflective writing has you respond and apply to your personal and professional life that information. In other words, in the example of the weather, how does that weather affect you? Well, if it's really cold outside and it's going to snow a lot and the wind is going to blow strong and cold, that will affect you. So reflective writing asks you to respond with your heart, head, and hands. You'll see that circled. So your heart, was there something you learned that transformed the way you feel? In the weather example, the cold weather, I don't know how that makes you feel. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel like I need to grab a blanket and wrap up because I'm always too cold. And so it affects sometimes my moods. I'm not in the best mood when the weather turns bad. How about your head? What did you learn that you didn't know before? Or what confirmed or challenged any beliefs or assumptions you had? For example, I remember the first time I discovered in a weather forecast that cold fronts are what cause wind. When a cold front moves in, and especially when a warm front moves out, it causes a lot of wind. And so that was a fact I didn't know before. That challenged a belief or assumption that I had that the wind just blew because it blew. I didn't know there was a scientific reason behind it. How about hands? Is there something that you will do differently due to what you've learned? How will you apply what you learn? Again, in the weather example, if it's going to snow 5 inches or more, I either do one of two things. I try to figure out how to stay home, so I do something differently by not going out. Or I might need to take some safety measures. For example, put tire chains on my car. If you live in a warm climate, you might not know what those are, but that's something that you can do to make your car safer and give it more traction in the snow. So that's something that I would do differently as a result of the facts of the weather that I learned about. Notice in the box toward the bottom right-hand side of the screen, both academic and reflective writing assignments require clear writing that is organized using well-constructed sentences and paragraphs with an introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion, accurate grammar, and correct spelling. Scroll down the page and you're going to see the actual writing assignment. You'll see it's underlined. Write a reflection paper that describes an event or an experience in your life that examines how that experience will influence your academic work and your goals at Colorado Christian University. You can use the heart, head, and hands questions to help guide your reflection. And then if you look below where it's circled, you'll see your reflection paper must be 1 to 2 pages in length, double-spaced, written in well-constructed sentences and paragraphs with an introduction, body, paragraphs, and conclusion, accurate grammar and correct spelling. 3, titled with your first name, the name of the assignment, and the date. 4, typewritten in Microsoft Word and saved with a file name that includes your last name, the session number, and the assignment title. You'll see the example there, Johnson.session1.writing assessment. Note, if you do not already have Word installed on your computer, CCU offers all students a free subscription to Office 365. Just click on that link in Blackboard. And 5, you'll submit it as an attached Word document. We'll talk about how to do that next. So again, you're going to pull up Microsoft Word. Now, the assignment said that you are to title this paper with your full name, the name of the assignment, and the date. That means the very first thing you're going to type onto your paper is exactly what you see there. Your full name, the name of the assignment, and the date. And then, as you see, you're going to write that reflection paper. Now, let's talk a little bit about what an introduction, body, and conclusion are as you look down toward the bottom of your screen. In an introduction, you tell somebody what you're going to tell them. In the body of the paper, you tell them, using well-constructed paragraphs and sentences, exactly the details of what you wish to tell them. And the conclusion is you tell them what you told them. So, for example, if I were to do an introduction, body, and conclusion about this assignment, I would say something like, in an introduction, I'm going to tell you all about your Session 1 writing assessment, the requirements of the assignment, and how to type it up in Microsoft Word and post it to your class. Then in the body, I would do exactly what I have been doing. I would give you the details about what I'm telling you. And then in the conclusion, I might say something or write something like, what I just went over with you was your Session 1 writing assessment assignment, what the requirements of the assignment were, how to type it in Word, and post it to your class. So in doing a conclusion, you tell them what you told them. Now, when you're ready to save it, click on File up in the upper left-hand corner of the Microsoft Word screen. That's going to open up a Save As window. Now here, the lesson that I'm giving you in this video could be very different than your version of Microsoft Word. I'm going to save my assignment in the Documents folder on this PC, in other words, on my computer. A lot of modern versions of Microsoft Word, especially using Office 365, you'll actually make that save your document in what's known as the cloud, or you will see that there is a Drive 1, or OneDrive, I think it's called, on your Microsoft Word, and you'll save it there. The important thing is that you know where it is saved so that you know how to retrieve it. Also notice that the instructions say to save it as a file name that includes your last name, and you'll see this toward the bottom center of the screen, session, whatever the session number is, in this case Session 1, the name of the assignment. In this case, it is the writing assessment. So again, you see that toward the bottom center of your screen, the file name that I gave this Microsoft Word document. Now, if you need help with Word, if you're not sure how to save and how to type and how to copy and paste and how to do all the things that are required in Microsoft Word to operate correctly in your class, I've given you a great tutorial website that will tell you all about Microsoft Word. As you see the different topics that is covered, and these are just the topics you see on the screen, so there's so much more. So go to https://edu.gfcg make that gfcglobal.org/en for English /word/, and that will get you to this website. Again, it's here on the screen for you. Now, assuming that you have gone to Microsoft Word and typed in your assignment, you need to log back into Blackboard. Look under My Courses, find your current course, and click on the class name. Your first week assignments, click on Session 1. Notice that below the coffee cup, you can click on the name of the assignment, in this case, Session 1 Writing Assessment. By the way, if you want to view the rubric and find out precisely what you're going to be graded on and how you can earn the best grade, you'll see where it says View Rubric right there when that page comes up. And then look where it's circled. You'll see that there is a section here where you're going to attach the file. Now remember what I said. I attached my file, or I saved my file to my local computer hard drive. So I would browse local files to find that. Now if you used OneDrive in Microsoft Office 365, you would use the button that says Browse Cloud Service, and you can find OneDrive there. This is much like attaching a document when you are writing an email and you attach a document to that email. So in my case, because I saved my Word document on my computer, I'm going to click on the location where I saved the file. As you see, the address on the window that popped up says this PC documents. I created a folder called CCU, another folder entitled INT 211A Adult Study Seminar 1, and then another folder called Session 1. And in the Session 1 folder, I saved my assignment. So I knew where I saved it, so I knew where to go find it so that I could attach it to this page on the assignment submission page. And so once I find it, I click on that file and I click Open on the screen. That's going to attach the file to the assignment. And again, if you're like, how do I do all of this in Microsoft Word? Please go to this website that I've given you that is a great tutorial on Microsoft Word. Now, as I mentioned, once you attach this, much like attaching a document to an email, you will also check a box underneath the attachment that says, I agree to submit my paper to the Global Reference Database. This is to make sure that, and I know you would never do this, but to make sure that the paper was not copied from, say, another website on the web, and you submitted it as your own work. So that's what that does. And you look about the bottom of the screen in the center, you'll see there's a box where you can actually type a comment. It's an add comment section to your professor, such as, for example, I love this assignment, or sorry, it was late, I had a family emergency. And then you're going to click the submit button in the lower right hand part of the screen. Your paper will actually appear on the next screen, and that's one of the ways that you can know it was successfully submitted. And the note at the top in the green that says your submission appears on this page. You had success. And when you are through proofreading your paper perhaps, or just double checking to make sure it got submitted okay, you will click the OK button on the right hand side of the screen. Congratulations, you've completed this assignment.